What is good, everybody? It is South Bay Chris, and today we're going to be doing a mid-fade tutorial with curls on top. And pretty much I'm starting off right here by just kind of separating the top from the bottom. Right here I'm wetting the hair just because it is a little crazy. You know, I want to be able to like just soften up the hair and lay it down in the direction that I want it to go. Right here, I put the comb there, and I'm going to put in these clips to separate the top from the bottom. So the top of the hair from pretty much the side, because I don't want to cut the top while I'm fading. So pretty much this is like an undercut. This is pretty much an undercut, and it's blended in the back, so it's not full undercut all the way around. It's not disconnected all the way around, but it is disconnected on the sides. And the sides right there, that is pretty much the shelf for the top to lay on. And right here where I ran that comb, that is pretty much where I'm gonna make my first guideline. It's gonna be a mid fade with no hooks. So we're gonna start our guideline, as you can see right here, right at the top of that hook, because we're gonna take off the hook. So we're starting it right there. And as you can see, I'm making sure my guideline is nice and neat, going all the way around the head. And towards the back, it's gonna be dropped a little bit. This is not a drop fade, but with all fades, you kind of want to have sort of a drop towards the back, because you want to give yourself more room to blend them back. That's why I kind of drop it a little bit in the back. But this is the guideline is just pretty much a straight line, and then slightly slanted in the back. Drop it in the back, so you give yourself room to blend. And right here, I'm pointing towards this side, because so what you want to do when you're starting your fade, making that first guideline, stand in front of your client and make sure that both points are even, so the fade is not lopsided or one fade is higher than the other. So stand in front of your client and make sure that both lines on each side are even. Make sure that both points are symmetrical. And right here, I'm just bringing the fade and I'm connecting it in the back. And just make sure that your guideline is nice and neat. I know mine is a little choppy right there, but make sure that it's nice and neat, because the neater your guideline, the neater your fade. And now right here, we are removing all the bulk, getting rid of all that, balding it all out. And make sure when you are cutting the hair that you go over the same spot multiple times. See, as you can see, I'm running the trimmer up and down multiple times. Reason for that is because just with one pass, when cutting hair with one pass, that's not going to do the job. You have to make sure that you go over the same spot multiple times, because you want to it'll just make everything even, because like I said, one pass isn't going to do the job. It's going to be uneven. There's still going to be hairs there, so you have to go over it multiple times. I can see I'm going up and down, up and down, up and down constantly. Gotta do it constant. Cutting hair is a constant motion. You have to constantly cut in the same spot. And now right here, we're going to use the shaver, and right where my thumb is at, that's where we're only gonna go up to with the shaver, because we don't want to go all the way up to the top of that line with the shaver. Reason for that is because if you go all the way to the top of the line, you're gonna leave a very harsh line that is gonna be hard to take out. So you want to go up to about like an inch before that first line, like right where my finger's at, right there. That's where you want to flick out with the shaver. You want to flick out so you don't create a harsh line, and don't go all the way to the top of that line. Like, I'm gonna repeat that again. Do not go all the way to the top of the line with the shaver. That is very important, because later on it's gonna leave a hard line for you to take out, and you're gonna end up just ruining your fade trying to take out that line. So don't go all the way to the top. Flick out with the shaver about an inch before that, as you can see right here. And you could even like around that like inch before that line, you could even kind of go down with the shaver. And right here, I'm going to show you guys the flick out motion. I'm going up and you flick out, up and flick out. That's how you flick out. So you go up and then you flick out just like that. You guys could kind of rewind that if you want to see that again, but just that's the flick out motion, and flick out about an inch before that line. And now right here, we're gonna create our base with the Wahl 1.5 guard. So this is the 1.5 guard. This is the guard that comes after the 1 guard. But we're creating our base with this. This is gonna be basically our foundation of the haircut. So, and it's open, not closed. That's the lever closed, the lever open. The lever is going to be open. Make sure the lever is open. And this is gonna be, like I said, our foundation of a haircut. This is gonna set up how the head shape is gonna look. And we're gonna go right up to right there. That is called the parietal ridge right there. Basically, we're gonna go just right there where I'm running the comb. That's the highest we're gonna go, because if we go any higher, that will completely change his head shape, and it'll make his head shape look more round instead of squared. So right there where the comb is at, that's as high as we're gonna go with it. And is the Wahl 1.5, like I said. And right here, as you can see, I'm creating my base, going up and down, multiple strokes, constant motion, up and down, right there where I'm running the comb. And as you can see, we're leaving those long hairs. We're gonna blend that in with clipper over comb, but we're leaving those long hairs to create a shelf, so it stays dark right there on that disconnect area. We want to leave it dark right there because we don't want it to look like just all super short and then long hair on top, like how a lot of barbers do undercuts. They just go up with the one all the way to the top. Now right here, we're gonna create our second guideline. This is the blade open, or it's considered the half. The measurement is a half, or it's considered the blade open. And we're going up about 1 inch, making sure that our guideline is nice and neat and symmetrical with that bottom line. Make sure that you just follow the same shape as that bottom line. And I left the edges a little bit dark just so when we line it up, it gives it more of a pop. Now right here, we're gonna erase that line. So we're gonna start open, the lever is gonna be open, and we're gonna close it little by little, as if there was notches on the side of the clipper. You're gonna close it about 4 or 5 times depending, but just close it little by little. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, it could be 4 or 5 times, but basically what we're doing is we start open and we're gonna close it little by little. All right, so this is to blend, and that's the motion that you're gonna do. You're gonna pass the line and flick out. Pretend that top line of my finger, that's the line. Don't dig in like that. Do not dig in. You do not want to dig in like that. Do not dig in at all. You're just going straight up and flicking out, straight up and flicking out. That's all you're gonna do, straight up and flick out. So pretend that line right there is the line we're taking out. You go past the line and then you flick out. You pass the line and then flick out. So I go up past the line, flick out, up past the line, flick out, up past the line, flick out. That's the motion that we are doing. You don't want to just go right to the line and then flick out, because that's not gonna take it out. You have to pass the line and flick out. So right here, we're all the way open, kind of just cleaning it up. Remember, we're passing the line. All right, we're gonna close it a little bit right there. And now we're gonna pass that line and flick out. And you can kind of go like right under where that base is at when you're just like right around this area with like just a little bit closed. So remember just to pass the line and then flick out. So right here, we're going up past that line and flicking out. Now we're gonna close it about halfway, and we're gonna go right under where we just left off, still passing the line and flicking out. Remember to pass that line and flick out. I'm gonna repeat that over and over again, because that's literally the motion. Pass the line and flick out. Don't dig in with the clipper, you're just going straight up. We're gonna close it a little bit more. We're like around halfway, a little bit past halfway. This is the 3rd time we've closed it. So we're passing that line and flicking out. As you can see, it's starting to come out as we're closing it little by little, making sure to pass that line and flick out. You guys can go back to where now we close it a little bit right here, some more, and right under where we just left off, passing that line and flicking out. And now we're pretty much closed all the way. And now we're just like cleaning that. Basically that line is out. And that first guideline is gone. The blade open is gone. And now right here, we're just like doing a little bit of touch up. And as you can see, we left that edge kind of dark, some hair right there. And now right here, we're going to do clipper over comb. This is the Oster clipper over comb. It's very thick. The measurement is pretty much equivalent to a 1.5. It's equivalent to that 1.5 guard. That's like that 1.5 guard open blends right into this clipper over comb. That's why I like it. And it's very thick, so it's not hard to mess up. Like with other clipper over combs, they tend to be very thin, and when you're first starting, it's very hard to use them, because like you can patch the head a lot because they're so thin. This one's very thick. The measurement is equivalent to like a 1.5 guard, the Wahl, and it'll blend right into my base. So right here, you're gonna go right under that line that we created with the 1.5, the base, right under it, you're gonna go straight up, and all that hair we are taking out, and we're just going straight up. All that we're gonna take out right there. All you do is just go straight up with the comb. We're not going to dig in with the comb, so we're just going straight up, and we're gonna get rid of all that. Remember, straight up like that. Everything that you see hanging off of the comb, once you go straight up, that's pretty much what you cut. So just straight up. Just pay attention to how I'm using the comb. We're not digging in like that. That's a no-no right there. As you can see, I'm saying no because we're not going to do that. That's taking off way too much, and it's going to change the shape of the head. By going straight up like that, you're going to keep the squared shape on the head, and you're not going to take off too much hair, and it's just going to blend. That's all you need to do to blend it. Just go straight up, and everything that's hanging is so you go under that line. You have the comb under the line, and you just go right up into it. Just going straight up. As you can see how I'm pointing my finger, we're going straight up with the comb. Now right here, we're gonna actually get into it. All right, so we go straight up, and all that, we swipe away. Bam. And as you can see, that blends right in. Go straight up, all that, gone. Bam. And so we start with the comb under the line, and then we go under the line, and you just go straight up. And now right here, I'm just cleaning it up. You gotta kind of do it multiple times. Like, even if once you take off like most of the bulk, you're not really gonna see anything, but you still gotta go over it just to make sure you get a nice clean transition and you get it all blended in. So right here, I'm just cleaning it up with the clipper over comb. As you can see, I'm just going straight up. Even though there's not a lot of bulk anymore, I'm still just cleaning it up, making sure to go over it multiple times, because remember, cutting hair, you have to go over it multiple times in order for it to be for the hair to lay nice and the blend to be nice. And now right here, we're just gonna like go back with the Wahl 1.5 open, and we're just gonna go straight up with the guard, just going straight up, just to kind of clean up any of a little bit of a line that may have been left that the clipper over comb didn't get. Because remember, whatever the line was put in with, that's eventually what you got to take it out with, because just to make it a nice transition. So whatever the line was put in with, we put in that line with our base, the 1.5. And the clipper over comb gets most of it, but just to give it an even better transition, we're just gonna go in with the 1.5 just to clean it up, and we're just going straight up. Same thing, just to keep that squared shape. You don't want to dig in because it'll ruin the shape of the head. So we're pretty much just going right off the head right there. All right, now I'm gonna close it, and now we're gonna get rid of this line right here that I'm pointing at. We're gonna get rid of that, so we're gonna blend from the base into that half, that blade open. So we're gonna go with the 1.5 closed, and right here, same thing. You go up, you flick out. You go up, you flick out. You go up, you flick out, and we're gonna blend down. So right here, I'm just going straight up, and we're gonna flick out. Now right here, we're going to continue going in with the 1.5 guard close. Continue softening up that line, and we're gonna work our way down. Now we're gonna switch to the 1 guard. So from the 1.5 guard, you go down to the 1, and then from the 1, we're gonna go down to the half guard to soften up that line. So right here, I'm going to attach the 1 guard because we just were with the 1.5 guard closed. So now it's gonna blend right into the 1 guard opened. So from the 1.5, we're gonna go to the 1 open. And now we're gonna continue softening up that line. Where we just left off, we're gonna go right under that. And remember, the process is go past the line and flick out. As you can see, I'm passing the line and I'm flicking out. Remember that flicking out motion that I was talking about earlier? That's what you want to be doing. And that's what I'm doing right here. Constantly going over the same spot multiple times, constantly going over it, because cutting hair is a constant motion. So you want to make sure that you are constantly doing that, constantly passing that line and flicking out. Now with the 1 guard, we are going to, from the 1 guard open, we can go straight into the half guard, because you don't have to go with the 1 guard closed. The half guard open will blend into the 1 guard open. So the half guard open will blend into the 1 guard open. So we skipped those steps of closing the 1 guard. Now right here with the half guard opened, and we are making sure to pass the line again and just flick out, passing that line and flick out. So remember, the one guard open blends into the half guard open. So you don't have to close the one guard. You can just go straight to that half guard. All right, continue to soften up that line right here. And now with the half guard, we are going to close that little by little. Because it's a very small guard and it's very short, this guard right here, we have to close it little by little, as if there was no guard on there. So with the half guard, you have to close it little by little. So start open and close little by little, and just continue passing that line that you see right there, that from the base into the blade open. So we're just closing this little by little until that line softens up, making sure to pass the line and flicking out. So this is the motion right here, passing the line. Don't dig in, just pass the line and flick out. Pass the line, don't dig in, go up and flick out like that. Just go up and flick out, making sure to constantly do that. Now we close it, and we're closing a little bit more, continuing to soften up that line. And now right here, I'm going to put in the edge. I'm not done with the fade because there still is some choppiness in there, but I'm putting in that edge to help us see the fade a lot more. This just kind of makes the fade pop. And as you can see, we're gonna go back in and detail our fade now. Now we attach the one guard open, just because that's where I feel the darkness is, how long the darkness is right there. And I test that half guard again. And right here, I'm just lever playing. This is detailing. So whenever you're detailing and you see a spot, always start open and then close a little by little. You don't want to go in too short. Always start with a higher guard and always start open. And now right here, he kind of has like an indent right there, which leaves like a very dark spot. So to soften that up, we use our barber comb and the shears. And right here, I'm going back in with the half guard, doing more detailing. And when detailing the fade, it's just a lot of playing around with guards, the numbers, and playing around with a little bit of shears to take out dark spots and lines. And this is the 1.5 guard detailing. And right here, I'm tapping the trimmer on my hand with talc on my hand, just to give us that ash line effect and make the edge pop more. And right here, using the taper barber comb, using the ends of it, going in where you see dark spots, and then using the thinning shears. These are called thinning shears. And then just close the thinning shears and take out those dark spots. Anywhere where there's a dark spot, put that comb where the dark spot is, and just hit the tips of the hair though. Don't go all the way into the scalp because that'll leave holes. Just hit the tips, and it's gonna soften up those dark spots. As you can see, it is making a big difference on the fade. Right here, we're just softening up those dark spots. Any little spots that I see, this is like how you get the fades to pop. And now we're gonna apply enhancements. As you can see, that edge was already dark, but that edge is already dark. And now when I apply the enhancements, it's just gonna give it that much more of a pop. Like as you can see, it's not looking fake. We don't want to apply too much. You want to kind of apply it from a little bit of a distance, and then just tap on the trigger lightly so it doesn't apply too much. And right here, we're going to blend the back. So you don't want to do it like that. You don't want to cut all that off when blending the back. You want to kind of pull your fingers out. See how my fingers are going straight up, and everything that hangs right there, it's not a lot, but it'll just make a big difference right there in the back, giving it a nice blend from the fade into the long hair in the back. And it's over directing. You want to over direct and pull it straight out and have your fingers going straight up. Don't slant your fingers because that'll cut off way too much. And now right here we have the blade open, and we're just detailing some more, playing with the lever, getting out any dark spots that we see. All right, we're just going in right there. And now I'm gonna apply some Shea moisture. This is curling cream. You can get this like at Target or Rite Aid. And pretty much what we want to do right here is just apply the Shea moisture curling cream generously in our hands and generously around the hair. Don't apply too much in one spot. Spread it all out evenly, get it nice in the roots. And this is just gonna make the hair curly hair. He doesn't have really curly hair, like a lot of curls, but he does have curly hair. So this helps bring out more of his curls. It gives it more of that wet look, gives it more of that definition, and it just makes the hair look a lot better. If he's going out, I recommend this to a lot of my clients with curly hair. It just has a nice smell to it, and if he's going out or something, it's just gonna look really good. And now right here, we're gonna use a straight razor. When using the straight razor, pull the skin and lay the blade flat and just glide it to the line, and it's just gonna give it that much more of a pop. That's all you need to do. Just glide the razor, lay it flat and glide it, and let the blade do the work. Pull the skin around the ear. I can't stress this enough. Right there, make sure you get all those neck hairs and get those hairs behind the ear, because a lot of barbers miss those hairs. Like, trust me, a lot of barbers don't do little details like getting the hairs behind the ear and getting the neck hairs, and this will really separate you guys. Your clients will notice when you get these little hairs and do things like this, all these little details with the straight razor. They notice that if you shave their neck, because a lot of barbers don't do that. Like, you'd be surprised how many barbers don't get little hairs like this, and this makes a big difference. And remember, just pull that skin and glide the razor. That's all you need to do. And now right here, we're applying the talc on my hand with a glove on. You don't want to do it without a glove. And then I just, while the trimmer is on, you just kind of like glide that trimmer on the talc, and then just tap the lines with the talc, and it just kind of gives it like that ashline effect. And right here, I grab some talc and I put it on my finger, and I'm rubbing it on the baldness of the fade. What this does is just make his skin a little bit wider, giving you more of a pop on the skin, and it makes it look more from a light to dark finish, and it just gives it more of that pop for pictures, for videos. And before you let the client walk out, make sure you dust them off. And guys, before you take a picture or a video of your cut to show it off, make sure you dust him off, because you want it to look as best as possible. And this is pretty much the finished product, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I really hope this helped you guys and you guys learned something. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thank you guys. Peace.